Take note.
Big Beach.
We're here.
My man, Alan,
It's different this time.
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys? Terry and Trey here. And yes, we do tape when the Knicks lose. And yes, we got blown out by the Spurs tonight. We knew it was going to happen at some point, right? But I am actually surprisingly still okay with the effort that they put forth tonight.
I'm not. I'm okay with the loss. I'm fine with the loss. Even before I heard Rose was out, I had a feeling, we were probably going to drop this one and then hopefully beat Detroit. My whole concern this week was we have two games. If we win one and tie one, if we win one and lose one, we're going to go into the All-Star break over 500. My worry is about losing both. We absolutely have to beat Detroit now. I just wanted to finish over 500. So in my head, I'd already kind of considered after the last game that maybe they lose in San Antonio.
Right.
But when Rose went out too, then even more so, I was like, I really thought tonight, and look, they're going to have nights like this, so I'm not really worried about it. Anything to do with the Knicks this season. We've shown great effort. And even in the first half, I thought the effort was largely there. Right before halftime, we make like a bad play. I think, they called that play when Noah blocked it and then it stayed in. They kept the ball. They hit a big three. But RJ had a bad foul before that. Right before the half, we give up a bunch of points. And then the third quarter, we just lay flat. I feel like the effort definitely wasn't there tonight. I feel like they're tired. Julius Randle tonight, let's go into it really quickly. He actually looked tired tonight. I tweeted out that this was, not that I think he's this player at all, but this was more like what Julius Randle looked like last season. And I also think, honestly, though Frank played well, and we talk about Frank, they missed Derrick Rose.
They did miss Derrick Rose, and yes, of course, they didn't play up to where we needed them to play. So what I think happened, yes, definitely they were tired. I know they've been on the road. I know there was that quick road trip that they had to make after the Saturday game. But they were not able to keep up with the pace of the San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio Spurs had a pace, even though they was the ones who were supposed to be tired, right? Because they played last night. They had a pace that once we got into the third quarter, the Knicks were not able to keep up with them. The reason I say that I still feel they put forth some good effort is because what I did see, especially towards the very end, once we knew we were not winning the game and it was going to be a blowout, I saw the guys starting to play with another level of confidence, almost like the game didn't matter at that point. They were just going to actually play. And that's how I think Kevin was able to score at that last minute there, or in the last quarter. And so the effort that I saw from them was just that, I guess I'm pretty sure the coach said to them, look, yes, the game is given up, but you still got to put forth the effort, and you still got to contend down to the last minute. So that's what I saw them. That's what I didn't see. Well, what I didn't see is I didn't see them completely give up. I saw them just being like, okay, we're not winning the game, but we're still going to put forth some effort. So I don't mean that kind of effort, like, oh, we're out there really trying hard, but I did see some effort still from them.
But I mean, for those guys, they're not playing, so they better play. They better show something.
Right.
I was gonna say with Tibbs, I don't think Tibbs is any kind of guy to be like, oh, we're gonna lose any. I think he was probably still on them, do what you can. Docs, he still, hit a couple of threes tonight, which was good to see. Still looks a bit lost. Obi Toppin is not ready for minutes in a winning team. I love Obi. Not real minutes. I love Obi, and I want to see him keep growing. But he was kind of sloppy out there today, giving away the ball. Tibbs was not happy with it.
Right.
And I'm not worried about Obi. I'm not too worried about him long term. But I will say that for someone who was really supposedly polished coming in, I'm a little surprised that he's not, adjusted quicker. But I think it's definitely the minutes sometimes, and his defense at times has been better than I thought. But we're gonna have to see some more Obi. The other rookie though keeps showing, even in a game like tonight. I still don't think he played that well, but he hit 6 of 13 3-pointers, Emmanuel Quickley.
I know. That was fantastic. So it kind of shows you that, these guys are having these up and down games. So it's great that other people are able to step up. I mean, even a night like tonight, even though it was a blowout, we were quite short-handed. So were the San Antonio Spurs. But for me, the San Antonio Spurs are still a good team. They're still a playoff running team. They're playing on the West. So they have a lot more difficult teams to contend with as opposed to us. So for me, I still feel that, Emmanuel was able to step up, give us some points that we needed. and I'm happy with that. Happy with the effort he put forth. And then our next guy, which I know you want to speak about.
I want to say something about IQ.
What?
He was happy to Chuck today. He felt like Iverson back in the 2000s. He just wanted to keep shooting. And again, this shooting is elite. If he is this guy, and he is this guy, his shooting is going to improve. It's going to be insane in his prime. Most guys that are good 3-point shooters do not come into the league shooting threes with the confidence that he does. He looks, like I said, like what Damian Lillard and Steph Curry looked like as a rookie, where they came in and they were just better than you thought, and they were way more confident shooting threes than you thought. But, however, his playmaking definitely needs improvement. Once he gets past the initial guy off a screen, he's either going to go straight for the floater and he doesn't kick the ball out enough, or he'll stop and have to reset the play. I think, he was touted as someone who may not be the most natural point guard coming in. And obviously he's shown that like his dribble game is good, and I think he can still do a lot there. But I think this offseason, when he gets with Johnny Bryant, you're going to see his playmaking change. He needs to keep his head up a little bit more sometimes when he's getting to the rim, because he's such a threat from deep. Once he adds a little bit more playmaking, he's going to be fully ready. I was surprised he didn't start, but I know Tibbs started this guy instead, Frank Ntilikina.
Yes. What do you think about Frank starting?
I was going to say I'm shocked, but it was really more about the defense. Tibbs wanted to start. Alfred Payton's been playing primarily for his defense. I think Tibbs knows that IQ off the bench. If Frank is coming off the bench, you're not getting that scoring. So you want to keep things the same. We thought we need that punch. I thought we'd see Rivers tonight. A little bit surprised. But Frank comes in and doesn't really run the offense that great, to be honest. No assist tonight for a point guard. You do more on that, but his shot is legit, and he looks more confident taking it.
Definitely more confident. And, when Frank plays defense, he plays really confident. You saw when he ran up and and held place and basically threw his body in there and got abused. So Frank plays really well with defense and doesn't mind being really confident and almost kind of bullyish, like I'm here. When he plays offense, he doesn't play like that. So he just needs to play those two games, those two sides, with the same confidence he plays when he's playing defense.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Well, one thing is
tonight we did see a little bit of that. We did see some of that confidence coming through, and that's what we always wanted to see from him. We always knew that Frank was going to be a great defensive player, or good defensive player, and that a lot of his play is off ball. A lot of the stuff that he does, there's no stats for it.
Oh yeah, his rotations are incredible. Frank's his off-ball defense is so much fun to watch because he really takes guys out of the game. Guys are annoyed playing against Frank. You can just see he's everywhere throwing his arms up. His shot drops tonight. Really nice to see. He looked really confident taking it. Had all those points really quickly in the third quarter. But it was a little bit of a shame as a team that you get kind of unexpected points, I would say, from Frank Ntilikina. And the players, some guys around him didn't score as well tonight, right? Like Burks had 4 points. Burks was 1 of 9.
Yeah.
Like Alec Burks has to score for us. If in a game where Derrick Rose is also missing, can't have a guy like Alec Burks only giving 4 points, right? Even Reggie Bullock had 3 points tonight in 22 minutes. These guys, and I know Derrick Rose being the main point guard, penetrating and dishing is something we definitely miss. Frank is just not that point guard. But you have to admit, he did well tonight. I'm happy to see it. I think for sure he should be in the rotation. Let him play some 3 and D. Let him do that. Let him defend some guys on the team, give other guys rest, let him spot up for 3-pointers. Frank is going to do some solid stuff out there. So it's good to see him hit his shots tonight, though we definitely didn't miss Derrick Rose.
Of
you
course.
got some quotes for us?
I do. I have a quote from
France Germain?
Yes, from France Germain.
Okay.
I think I kind of have to agree with this. At this point, we don't need to trade.
Let's put it up for the people.
Okay, so at this point, we don't need to trade nobody on this team. We need to write it out and evaluate the roster at the end of the season. I think right now how we all feel about this team is that we really want to see this team stay together. We love the camaraderie. They all seem to get along so well. They all seem to be able to step up for each other when they need to. So I think for all of us, we don't want to see any of the pieces change. However, I think I sent you a text, I don't know this morning or when I did, but I wouldn't be surprised if we see a trade happen for someone that we don't want to see go. I wouldn't be surprised if we see one guy step out and they bring another guy in, because I do think that they are going to try to make a playoff run. That's how I feel right now. I don't know how, when the end of the season comes, depending on what we are at that point, losses and wins, are we looking to get someone in the draft? So for right now, I do think we want to make a playoff run, and I could see one piece being switched out. Not what I want, but I could see it happening.
Yeah, I mean, this is a good point. Obviously, after a game like tonight, doesn't feel as strong, but this group likes each other. They stick together. I would say this: Austin Rivers is not in the rotation, and he didn't even play tonight with Derrick Rose out. So I have to assume at this point they're working on a trade for Austin Rivers, and they're trying to keep him from getting injured or whatever. So to me, Austin Rivers out of the rotation. Alfred Payton is the iffy one. Now, Frank starts tonight. Derrick Rose is in health and safety protocols, so I don't think he plays Thursday either. I think he comes back after the break. So basically, we got one more game potentially of Frank and IQ as kind of the point guards. Mm-hmm. Now, Alfred, we'll see if he comes back. It's been rare. They had the hamstring, but the way they've been talking about it, it almost feels like they're like, we're trading you, so just stay over there. But let's see if he comes back, because if Frank and IQ do play Thursday and they play well and we win, then I'm like, definitely find a way to trade Alfred. Let's get that Derrick Rose and IQ rotation at point guard with Frank helping out every now and then. Yeah. But if Frank and IQ go out on Thursday and lose to Dennis Smith Jr. and the Pistons, we have a little winning streak without Alfred. But if we feel like, it looks kind of like tonight, and I don't think tonight is on anyone in particular. I think a lot of the energy wasn't there. Like I said, Randall's defenses wasn't there today as well. Yeah. But it's interesting to see what happens, because I think the real move for the Knicks is turning Rivers and Payton together into a shooter. If you could take those two guys and get a shooter back, and it's hard to find shooters, I know. If you can find someone who's a good, excellent shooter on another team, and you just make that trade, that to me would be excellent, as long as Derrick Rose doesn't get injured, and we can kind of run with this for the rest of the season. Because the team, aside from tonight, we look good without Payton.
Yeah, we do. We look good without him, and it makes sense. It makes sense without him.
It does make sense without him. So March 4th, next game, like I mentioned, the Pistons, Dennis Smith Jr. again. Last game before the break. We need to win this. We cannot. I do not want to go in under 500. This is a bad Detroit side.
Yeah. We can prove we can beat them. So let's do it again.
Exactly. Now, did you see CP versus Max Kellerman today?
Oh my God, he put Max to sleep. I love that he represented. I love that he represented for the New York Knicks fans, and only us know this, right? Only us real fans know this. He shut him down. I'm so glad that he stood up. Shout out to CP.
Shout out to CP. It was so dope, because it's like finally one of us got to talk to these ESPN people who just talk crap about us, right?
Yeah, I know.
CP killed it. He's going to be on next week. I'm telling you, they saw those ratings. They're about to have CP on every week, because Knicks fans were going ham watching that. Listen, they're looking at numbers. If it works, they're going to have CP argue with Max every week.
They're going to love it. They're going to love it. I love it.
I will say this, though. I hope this is not the game Max watched after that conversation. Guys, peace. Thanks for watching. Shout out to, I can't remember who it was in the comments, but told me to spice up the background a little bit. So we got a little hello viewing going on. But we're in the process, guys, of like setting up a real place to film, maybe for next season. But all that stuff is going to come. Thanks for rocking with us. Take care. Peace. See you guys next time.